did it take so long before any sort of alert was issued? KREM 2's Christian Garza live in the newsroom tonight with more on what Washington State Patrol takes into consideration before sending out an alert. Christian?
Yeah, Mark. Well, the answer is simple. Amber Alerts are a federal program with criteria set through the Department of Justice, meaning when a report comes through, if it doesn't meet that set criteria, then the state's hands are tied. After Monday's gruesome discovery,
we don't know the timeline now. We don't know when this evil act occurred.
Chris Loftis, the Director of Public Affairs with Washington State Patrol, is now trying to answer questions circulating online and across the state surrounding what was done when Paityn, Evelyn, and Olivia Decker, all under 10 years old, were initially reported missing last Friday to when their bodies were found this week. Court documents show the bodies were found 100 feet near their father Travis Decker's truck, with zip ties and plastic bags being recovered near the scene.
The entire process, there was a continual conversation and an expansion of coverage and focus. Unfortunately, however, and we don't know what the timeline of the situation. We don't know when the children were killed. But once we have that, we'll be able to say, hey, are there any lessons we can learn here?
Of the 5 required criteria for an Amber Alert, Loftis says this case specifically failed to meet 2 of those criteria. The first was reason to believe an abduction had occurred, and the second was known danger of bodily harm or death.
We had no reason to assume differently. And if we start assuming that every time a custodial parent is late bringing a child home, that there's an abduction or there's possible homicide afoot, we're going to be sounding so many alerts that they become noise very quickly and they don't become the signal that we needed them to be.
Loftis says all these reports across the state go through a missing and unidentified persons unit to see if it meets the criteria before it's escalated to an Amber Alert. A day after the initial Amber Alert request, WSP issued the Endangered Missing Persons Alert, or EMPA, which acts as a catch-all alert for anyone who can't help themselves. The main difference between the Amber Alert and the EMPA is that the EMPA won't send those ringing mass notifications.
In this case, we did everything we could do, and we still have this horrible outcome caused by the evil of a person, not because of a failure of a system.
Loftis says so far this year there have been 3 Amber Alerts and 16 EMPAs. The manhunt for the girl's father, Travis Decker, is still underway. Christian Garza, KREM 2 News.